raining fuel. The FAA says pilots aboard a Delta flight declared an emergency before landing at the LAX airport, but never told air traffic controllers they needed to dump fuel.
Okay, so you don't need to hold the dump fuel or anything like that?
Negative.
If alerted, investigators say air traffic would have told the pilots to release the fuel somewhere else, like an ocean. The plane dumped streams of fuel over Los Angeles schools and neighborhoods yesterday. Students returned to school today after an extensive hazmat cleanup.
New accusations. A new lawsuit claims wealthy financier Jeffrey Epstein ran an underage sex ring at his private island years after he became a convicted sex offender.
Jeffrey Epstein carried out an expansive scheme of human trafficking.
The Attorney General in the U.S. Virgin Islands filed a civil suit against Epstein's estate. She says he brought girls as young as 13 to his secluded compound. Back in August, Epstein was found dead inside his federal jail cell in New York.